What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another ShowMeFootball.com Kansas City Chiefs post-game show. My name is Josh Fan, your host. Today I'm joined by Connor, as always. And Chiefs fall to the Chargers 30-24. And we are pissed. We got a lot of things to say. But Connor, I'm going to let you go first because I always like doing that. And I just want you to get your thoughts and your feelings out because this is a really frustrating game. And I still need to gather my thoughts. For those of you that are watching, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more people can join us. And you can always leave a super chat if you're feeling kind enough as well. But I can understand if you're not feeling kind at the moment because we just saw the Chiefs lay an egg. But Connor, take the stage.
The worst part about this game is that it was the best football we have played all season. Like, even the game we won, we still played significantly better during this game than we did in that one. Okay, we looked fantastic the first half, except for Marcus Kemp has brick hands. That Tyreek Hill fumble was really nobody's fault. And oh yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still terrible. Run blocking was good. Travis Kelce was good. Tyreek Hill was good. Patrick Mahomes was good for the most part. Running game was mediocre. It was fine. The defense looked competent. The defense looked the best it has all season, which, keep in mind, isn't very much. But I do feel like it's worth mentioning that we look significantly better without Charvarius Ward and Frank Clark because those guys are both bums who probably would have changed the game in favor of the Chargers if they actually played. Because for the majority of the game, DeAndre Baker looked pretty good. But it's just so incredibly frustrating that you can play your best game of the year, but because of stupid-ass turnovers, just completely shaft yourself late in the game, and you lose because of it. And it's just so ungodly frustrating to root for the Kansas City Chiefs nowadays. And, like, we suck. This team is not good. This is the team that's supposed to go 20-0. This is the team that would drop 50 on the 85 Bears. This is the greatest group of humans ever assembled. Are you kidding me? Like, Veach's everything that we've said is coming to fruition. Not just last week, not just the Browns week, not just this week, but it's setting the tone for everything we've said to come to fruition all season, and I am so sick of it. There is nothing I would love more than to be completely wrong and watch Frank Clark go out there and turn into Derek fucking Thomas, but that is not going to happen. This team is bad for all the reasons that I've been saying. It is a top-heavy team. We have 6 good players, and everyone else sucks.
That's the biggest takeaway of the game from me, is that this team, the roster building strategy from Brett Veach has been so mediocre that we've gotten to the point other teams are starting to catch up to the Chiefs, and you can no longer play like absolute shit for 3.5 quarters and still expect to win the game. And that we were talking about this during the Super Bowl when they were playing bad and the Chiefs were down 20 something at one point. You still see the people on Twitter on the timeline, oh, I'm not worried, the Chiefs can come back. No, guys, those days are over. You cannot play like shit anymore for 3 quarters and still expect this team to win. They turned the ball over 4 times today. You're not going to win when you do that, ever. Against a good team like the Chargers, the Chargers are a legit team now, guys. And the Chiefs are last in the division, mind you.
And to think, I was actually looking forward to being positive. I was going to say nice things about, I was going to say, like, I was so excited that I saw Jody Forston catch a touchdown. I was so happy that I saw him.
I know, and it sucks because that's all going to get overshadowed by how poor the team played for outside of that.
There were so many aspects of this game that made me, like, genuinely excited. A Chief that wasn't named Chris Jones got into the quarterback and got a sack. That's the equivalent of hell freezing over. But it doesn't matter because we lost.
Let's just start with the offense, okay? So Patrick Mahomes was 27-44, 260, and 3 touchdowns, as well as 2 interceptions. Not a great day at all. Mahomes had a chance to win the game there at the end, and he threw it away. I mean, and we said this off the air. Expensive looking Duck says in the comments, the O-line is still so bad. Now, I'm going to push back on this a little bit. The O-line, like, The O-line was good enough for the Chiefs to win today. I thought Mahomes got pressure a lot more often than I would like, and Lucas Niang got beat by Joey Bosa a lot. But the offensive line was good enough for the Chiefs to win today. Now, that being said, Patrick Mahomes, I know we gave people shit for the dropped interception statistic, and I think it's stupid for a lot of reasons. And I love Mahomes, and it's really frustrating how a lot of people will hop onto Twitter to dunk on Mahomes anytime he does something bad because they don't like him. They like to hate on him. But let's be honest, Mahomes has a lot of what the F throws that he makes that go, oh man, like, come on, Mahomes, you're better than that. I mean, that throw off the back foot to Kelsey, I mean, that wasn't even close to end the game. Come on, man. And I won't put everything on Mahomes because even though Mahomes had some bad decisions today, this is yet again another game you're asking Mahomes and the offense to be absolutely perfect for them to win the game, and it doesn't work out for you.
I mean, we've been saying this, like, the game can't come down to just Mahomes. There has to be other players on this team that, do things.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Wide receiver 2 was something we complained about all offseason, and I hate coming on here after every single game and having to talk about the same things that we needed that did bad today. Defensive end, wide receiver 2, okay? But we have to talk about it. The receivers outside of Tyreek Hill today were a problem. Byron Pringle's out here dropping passes. Marcus Kemp should not be on the field for anything other than special teams. Why is Marcus Kemp out there? I kind of frowned upon the idea of bringing in Josh Gordon, who got reinstated and is a free agent now.
Why?
But go get Josh Gordon. Go get him, please. Anything. Give him all the weed and all the freaking alcohol that he wants. I don't care. Just bring him in because this team needs a wide receiver too, and it showed up badly today. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire
take a boozed up Josh Gordon over Marcus Kemp.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 17 carries for 100 yards, which is good. But here's the thing. Here's why I'm going to downplay what Clyde Edwards-Helaire did today. One, he fumbled the ball on a drive that the Chiefs likely would have scored if he didn't fumble. So that's one of the reasons they lost the game. Secondly, this is what we've been asking for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, to do a team that is a rush defense as bad as the Chargers. Like, the Chargers are a bottom 3 run defense. Clyde Edwards-Helaire should have had a 100-yard game. But this does not validate anything about Clyde for me. Let's see it against a real opponent.
What was his longest run? Like 9 yards?
What was that?
What was Clyde's longest run? What was it? 9 yards?
I don't have it on my screen, but his longest run actually was for like 10 yards, I think. So
whoop-de-doo. I don't care. He can't break off anything bigger than that. And he has no speed.
And also, something else we have to point out. Towards the end of the game, when we were arguing with Marlon Suddington on Twitter, he was saying, we're trying to chew clock. No, you don't chew clock at the 2-minute warning. You know, that play where they ran Clyde and it went for 2 yards, that absolutely killed that drive. And that was the drive that ended up being 3rd and 8. And that's where Mahomes threw the pick, I believe. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had a 2-yard run. That's a situation where Clyde needs to get 5, 6, 7 yards, and he didn't.
That's a situation where he shouldn't touch the ball.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we needed to see Jerick McKinnon today. Why wasn't Jerick McKinnon out there? Where are his touches? When Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if Andy is going to put LaShawn McCoy in the doghouse for the same thing Clyde Edwards-Helaire did today, then it's ridiculous that he was even allowed back on the field after fumbling for the second time in 2 games. And the only reason he's still out there is failure to admit that they're force-feeding their first-round pick. That's all it is.
In the worst situations. And it's so ungodly frustrating because when you have the best player in the NFL, which I don't even know if that's a for sure thing anymore, but you need to put the ball in his hands. Like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill are all amazing. But what else do we have? Like 3 guys isn't going to be able to single-handedly carry an offense. Like everyone's going to bitch about the offensive line. Bosa smoked Niang like a blunt. I will
on one leg, by the way.
Yeah. I'm not sold on Yang. I wonder what Mitchell Schwartz is up to nowadays. But I thought the run blocking from the offensive line was fantastic. Like I thought the run blocking was great, and that's where Clyde's production came from. And like I know people are gonna say, like, oh, you just don't want to run the ball because you don't want Clyde to get production. Well, that's half true, but I love Daryl, and I still don't want to run the ball with Daryl. Like McKinnon should be the lead back, and he should be a pass catching
back. Okay, I don't. I feel bad for saying this, but according to Twitter, Andy Reid is feeling ill and will not do the press conference. Chiefs said they're checking him out of precaution. Yeah,
Good.
I would be sick too after that game.
What an asshole. Like, fuck.
I thought Reid got out coached by Staley today.
I think Staley is a good coach. I didn't think that he was a good hire, but I think he's a good coach.
And what does it say about your defense at the end of the game there where the Chargers decide to go for it? They get a penalty to essentially make it 4th and 10, and they still go for it, and they convert. That is pathetic. And look, I know there was a ticky-tack penalty on DeAndre Baker there or Dan Sorensen, whoever it was, even though they didn't show the replay, which was kind of sketchy. I don't know where the DPI came from, but Jesus Christ, man. Oh, yeah, and Marlon Seddington points it out, too. Fires Spags for putting Hughes on Mike Williams. Mike Williams was burnt toast today, man. Not Mike Williams, sorry. Mike Hughes. Get the mics mixed up. Mike Hughes was burnt toast today, man. And I don't understand where in time the Chiefs thought that making Mike Hughes a starter was a good idea. Like, Mike Hughes is ideally like a bench corner on a good team. DeAndre Baker has a concussion?
Yeah, he left the game like halfway through.
I think you're talking about Rashad Fenton.
Didn't DeAndre Baker get hurt too? Wasn't it both of them?
No, Baker was in the game. Rashad Fenton got a concussion though. But anyways, ideally,
fuck you, Bucks.
Ideally, Mike Hughes is a bench corner on a really good team. This is a guy that the Vikings were going to cut if we didn't trade for him. So I never understood that. I mean, Jesus, man, I'm going to look at some comments. Error Code says Reid is showing his true self and Spags is being his early 2019 self. Totally agree. M says Chiefs just had too many mistakes. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to turn the ball over 4 times and still expect to win. Error Code also said, Josh, do you think we have any chance for Brandon Cooks?
Why would they trade Brandon Cooks? They have the same record as us.
Good point. I would look into Brandon Cooks though, because like I said, I think secondary pass catchers are an issue. But instead of giving up an asset, go and bring in Josh Gordon for the vet minimum. Seriously, just see what he has. Lightning KO says there is such a lack of discipline, the turnovers and the flags, especially the stupid PIs. Yeah, I mean, the penalties are always, discipline is always an issue with Reid. Like, he doesn't discipline his players. That's just something you're going to have to deal with. And he also points out that Snead had the most unnecessary PI of the entire game on that third down. Yeah, he tackled
a ball.
And he tackled his receiver. Why? I don't understand it. And the defense actually looked good for like the first 2 or 3 drives of the game, but then they just ended up getting tired. They lost their edge from being out on the field a ton. They started getting gashed. They end up giving up 352 total yards of offense today. So at some point, that's not going to cut it anymore. Like I said, the days of this team playing like shit for 3 quarters and still winning it's not going to cut it anymore. It's just not. And here's another stat too. The Chargers Justin Herbert only got sacked 1 time, and it was Mike Dana on a coverage sack. This is a problem that we preached all offseason. The Chiefs cannot get pressure on the quarterback. They needed to sign a defensive end. I don't know how many times I have to jump on here and say it. They needed a defensive end. They didn't sign one. They signed Jarran Reed, which I'll admit now, Jarran Reed, shit signing. He has not done anything. I'm not impressed with Jarran Reed whatsoever. No production from him. You're asking Chris Jones to do absolutely everything. Moving him out to end was stupid when you need him in the middle, but then at the same time, since you didn't address defensive end, you have a lack of bodies at defensive end, which means Chris Jones has to play more snaps at defensive end. So it's just this whole big mess when you should have just signed a defensive end, because now this team can't get pressure on the quarterback. And if you thought Frank Clark was going to get healthy and change that, I have bad news for you, because it's not going to happen. This team is struggling to get to the quarterback, and they're going to struggle to get to the quarterback all season long unless it's a blitz. And that's just the reality. And that's one of the reasons why other teams are catching up to the Chiefs, because the roster building strategy from Brett Veach has made this team decline. His first round picks, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, traded one of his first round picks for Frank Clark. His other top picks, McCole Hardman, Breeland Speaks. This is not drafting that is going to get you, is going to keep you as a contending team in the NFL.
Absolutely not. Dude, I hate this team so much. I was actually starting to, be optimistic about Veach with his last draft class, because I actually liked it. But Cornell Powell got cut. Noah Gray got his first touch ever today. Josh Kando sucks. Nick Bolton's a stud, and Creed Humphrey's pretty good, but that's about it.
Well, here's the thing too is. Nick Bolton is under such a microscope. Like, Nick Bolton will have bad plays over here and there, and I see people calling him out on Twitter for it. And it's like, but the thing is, you're asking Nick Bolton to be your best linebacker, but he's a second round rookie. That's not fair to him. You're asking him to be your best linebacker as a second round rookie. He's a sound tackler. He's been getting washed out on some of these run plays a little bit, but I mean, he's been a solid downhill run stopping linebacker like he was brought in here to do as a rookie, but people are holding him under a microscope because he's a second round rookie and the Chiefs, have bad linebacker play.
Is our Super Bowl window shut?
This team doesn't look like a Super Bowl contender right now.
Not in the slightest. They look terrible. When was the last time they had a losing record?
That would be 2019 when we were 6-4.
That's not a losing record.
I'm sorry, no. What was it? We didn't have a losing record that year. No, this is the first time we've had a losing record in the Mahomes era. I'm sorry. I totally blanked out.
It might be the first time in the Reed era, maybe.
No, they had that really bad stretch against with Andy Reid in 2017. Sorry. Comments. 95 is better over the top than out wide. Clark was supposed to be our Bosa, but he's terrible. I agree. Erico says, Erico says, have you lost any respect for Veach today, Josh?
It's hard to respect someone that you've never or lose respect for someone that you've never respected in the first place. Bad question.
My respect for Veach was already down. I'm very down on his roster building. Also, I saw a tweet that Juan Thornhill was starting today. Well, I'm not sure how long he started because Dan Sorensen was still in for 90% of that game. And that's where I question the coaching staff, man. There's no, and excuse my language, fucking reason Juan Thornhill should not be playing. And I would not blame Juan Thornhill at all if he requested a trade tomorrow. He needs to be this team's deep safety. I'm tired of seeing Dan Sorensen miss tackles. I'm tired of seeing him get burnt in coverage in the middle of the field being wide open. You drafted Juan Thornhill with the top 100 pick for a reason. Play him. There's no reason. The politics that are going on in the Chiefs locker room that allows Dan Sorensen to be on the field so much is infuriating. That cannot be the case anymore.
Fuck, dude. Keep going.
Eric says our little 3-year run of dominance is over. We are just another team now, and Brett Veach needs to take responsibility. Yeah. I mean, again, this roster building, what did we ask for? We asked for depth at defensive back. We asked for a defensive end. We asked for wide receiver 2. How many of those would you say are still a need? All of them.
Oh my God, Jackson Mahomes.
Lightning KO says the Super Bowl window is never cut in the Mahomes Hill Kelsey era. I mean, they're always going to be in the top echelon of teams, but as of right now, they're last in the division. And it's hard to see how they improve enough to like make you go, oh man, like they're top Super Bowl contender, like the favorite to come out of the AFC. Do we still think the Chiefs are the favorite to come out of the AFC? I don't know about that. Maybe I'm being too negative, but I mean, I'm not saying the Super Bowl window is shut, but you're seeing why the roster building strategy from Brett Veach is criticized so much by people on Twitter. There's this kind of loud minority. I think it's kind of become a majority on Twitter, though, of people that criticize Brett Veach, and people go, oh, well, he's brought the team to 2 Super Bowls and 3 AFC championship games hosted in a row. It's not about what you did in the past. It's about creating longevity and extending your window and bringing in cheap talent to help supplement the roster every year and become a better team. They haven't succeeded in doing that. And at some point, it's going to be your downfall. And Lightning KO also says, I respected Veach for finding room for contracts with the cap, but even then, he hasn't signed our best defensive player, Matthew, on a contract year. Veach's biggest accomplishment since he's become GM is re-signing John Dorsey players. Name one single cornerstone player, and I mean cornerstone, like a Chris Jones level player that Veach has drafted. Cornerstone player. Name one. Name one.
He's drafted a couple solid ones, but no great player.
No cornerstones. Signed Josh Gordon and John Brown at wide receiver, Olivier Vernon and Geno Atkins on the defensive line. Yeah. I mean, give me Josh Gordon and like Olivier Vernon, and let's see what they can do. I mean, I'd be in favor of that. Braden Roadcap says Veach needs to bring in wide receiver 2 and DN. Yep, same thing we've said all along. Error code. Veach's contracts aren't even good now, and they get even worse later. I mean, a lot of that is just the Frank Clark contract, which really does hurt this team.
He did a lot today, didn't
he? Yeah. And the defense actually looked good without him for a good minute there. John Dorsey was great drafting, but cap management was bad. Can't really argue there. It's really frustrating, though. It really is. And it sucks that the team relies so heavily on Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill to do everything. You can't do it. You can't. For those of you still watching, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more people can find this. And if you keep liking the video, it helps more people find us, gets more people interacting. And you can also leave a super chat if you're feeling generous enough today. But again, I understand if you're not feeling generous at all, because we are all very mad. Anything else from you, Connor?
Boy, we sure didn't miss Frank Clark's culture today.
Yeah. I mean, why do you need him on the field when he changes the culture so much?
Oh my God. I genuinely hate this team. Wait, did we even punt once today?
No, but yeah, let me check the stats real quick.
I think every one of our drives.
We punted once.
Huh.
But then we also turned it over 4 times.
Yeah, that's pathetic. Like, I guess we traded Patrick Mahomes for Zach Wilson.
I don't understand how you can keep pumping sunshine into this team when the stuff that we complained about just comes to fruition in the regular season. People say, don't be mad. The Chiefs have Mahomes and all that stuff, but
hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. It's not happening again.
I'm pissed. And all the fans this is unacceptable, man. This is really unacceptable.
20-0.
And you look at teams like the Raiders. Guys, the Raiders are a tough opponent. They're a team that's played the Chiefs close, and people just write them off. They're coming up on the schedule. The Raiders did some good stuff with their defense. Yannick Ngakoue was a good in signing. They revamped their linebacker core. Denzel Perryman, KJ Wright, Casey Hayward was a good under-the-radar signing for them. Trayvon Merrick, this is a team that's going to give the Chiefs trouble, and people are going to be surprised when it happens.
We're probably going to lose.
Let's look at the Chiefs' schedule. Let's go ahead and do that for
Eagles,
a second.
Loss. Bills, loss. It's time to.
You better not lose to the Eagles. You better not lose to the Eagles.
Eagles fly.
And we're supposed to be going to the Bills
victory.
game. We're supposed to be going to the Bills game, and if we go into that game 1-3, I'm not sure if I'll want to go anymore.
Can't wait to see Devontae Smith just dust Charvarius Ward. All right.
And he wasn't even playing today.
Eagles.
Oh, here's your stat, Connor. Here's your stat. I found it. It was tweeted by ESPN. The Chiefs are under 500 for the first time since Week 11 in 2015. So,
oh my God, dude.
It's been 6 years. It's been about 6 years.
Eagles, Bills, football team, Titans. Those are 4 straight tough opponents. And
I mean, the way this team is playing, none of those games are a guaranteed win.
We could very easily be sitting here at 1-6 at the end of that.
Yeah. I mean, now I don't want to be that pessimistic because, like, I feel like the Chiefs are still going to be like 500 at some point coming out of that stretch. But if you,
it's not unrealistic to say they lose all of them.
Flip one play in the Browns game, and this team is 0-3.
Yeah.
So
let's see. After Tennessee, the New York Football Giants, the Green Bay Packers, which really depends on what Packers team we get, Raiders, Dallas, Denver, Raiders, Chargers, Steelers, Bungles, Denver. This schedule doesn't get easier.
Nope. Looking at some comments again. Erica says, I'm going to set my expectations extremely low now. Yeah, that's what we do.
Like, people are going to say, this is such a hot take. You're overreacting. Here's the thing. I would not be surprised if this team misses the playoffs. I'm not going to be surprised if this team misses the playoffs at all. If they continue to play like that. Like, if they continue to just, like, all this, like, stupid-ass bullshit, I'm not going to be shocked if we miss the playoffs. I'm not.
I mean, any team can miss the playoffs easily if they're not paying attention and they don't pay attention to detail, which the Chiefs aren't right now. I mean, I still think the Chiefs are a team that wins at least 10 games. At least 10 games, okay?
We have they have enough good players.
I know they do. But those 6 good players are good enough to win us at least 10 games. At least I think that right now.
We're going to beat the Giants, and that's the only sure thing.
I mean, you know how much I hate when people put everything on Mahomes and, you know, say this team has Patrick Mahomes. There's no reason to worry, but Mahomes is too talented of a quarterback to let this team miss the playoffs. Like, that's not going to happen.
If only he could motivate his defense to carry him like Tom Brady does.
But the Chargers look good this year. That's a team that could take the division from the Chiefs if they aren't paying attention. What are you yawning at?
Oh, the Chargers are a good team. Herky. Oh, fuck off.
They are. This isn't no, they are a good team, dude. Like, this isn't a team the Chiefs can just sleepwalk and beat anymore, which is they're a solid team. They're greatly coached. Justin Herbert looks really good. Like, they could steal the division from the Chiefs if they aren't paying attention. What makes you confident that this is a cakewalk division for the Chiefs?
No, I didn't say it was a cakewalk division for the Chiefs. I just said it's not going to be the Chargers. There's a big difference.
It's not going to be the Broncos or Raiders.
Why not? Why not?
What makes you? It's Teddy Bridgewater.
So?
It's Teddy Bridgewater, Vic Fangio. It's like they're fine. Jerry Jeudy's out. Like,
they have a good defense, solid wide receivers, a quarterback who has the team behind him. What more do you want?
Still think the Chargers are better and way more talented.
The Chargers may be more talented, but the Broncos are a better team.
I agree to disagree. Eric Code says, if Veach can draft good for once in his life and we miss the playoffs, we may get a cornerstone player. M says, we bank on our offense too much. Greatly coached, something we are not. Yeah, you have to question how the Chiefs are coached at this point. Like, what is going on? And then the coaching decisions, like I mentioned, Dan Sorensen playing 90% of the snaps cannot continue to happen anymore.
We're coached poorly.
And they had opportunities to win this game. And at the end there, I was screaming to let the Chargers score so you could get the ball back with enough time. And they just played around. The Chargers went for it. They left 30 seconds on the clock. And it was just too tough of a situation to overcome.
Holding them to a field goal was like cool and stuff, but like you turning the ball over there can't happen. And like that's 2 weeks in a row that we've been in a position where all we need to do is to get in field. All we need to do to win is get in field goal range, and we failed twice.
And the defense still looks soft as hell. And people are saying, "Oh, just wait till Willie Gay comes back." You really think Willie Gay is making that much of a difference?
No, the team, like, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but the team's still gonna suck.
And the offensive line, to me, again, they were good enough for the team to win the game, but they allowed a lot more pressure than I was comfortable with today. Found Mahomes running a lot. And there was a hit that Mahomes actually fumbled, but he recovered it. He should not be taking those hits still. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that in the league that take those kind of hits. Why does Mahomes have to always take those hits? It's infuriating. We invested so highly in this offensive line. I mean, I know they'll take time to figure it out and gel, and they're relatively young, and that's another thing I talked to you about. Like, they invested so much in this offensive line that it almost seems like they ignored some of these other positions. I mean, Austin Blythe signing was fine. They doubled down in the draft and got Creed Humphrey when Austin Blythe I thought was fine. LDT, like, he should have been shipped for somebody. LDT is not going to play. You still have Kyle Long. I mean, I know injuries can happen, but you have an Andrew Wiley. I mean, it's an extreme amount of depth that you don't even need. One of those guys should have been shipped off for an asset, or you should have attacked another position. Robert says, "Do we have any chance at all at beating the Bucs? Not at this rate. The Bucs are a way better team.
Play the Bucs.
They're better coached. They have a better defense. They're dealing with some injuries right now, but they have a better defense. Their offense looks amazing. We can't get pressure on the quarterback.
Who can actually motivate his running back to not fumble, and who can actually motivate his defense to hold the offense under 30 points.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a better, well-rounded team.
That's just what makes Tom Brady better than Patrick Mahomes, just his ability to motivate the team around him. He's just such a good teammate, dude. There's just like nothing that Patrick Mahomes can do that would even come anywhere near Tom Brady, because he's just a competitor, dude. Like, he just completely changes the team just by his presence, just makes the team so much better around him. He is the best offensive and best defensive player in NFL history. Nobody comes close.
So I know the Chiefs, the biggest reason they lost the Super Bowl was the offensive line. But people forget they could not get pressure on the quarterback in that game. Brady faced the lowest pressure rate he ever has in the Super Bowl. And the secondary also got torched in that game. And the Chiefs didn't do a lot to fix either of those. So even though it may be a lot closer with an offensive line, I still don't see the Chiefs beating the Bucs if they get back to the Super Bowl. And honestly, I think the Rams might be better than the Bucs, and I think the Rams would give the Chiefs a run for their money as well.
I don't know who even wins the Super Bowl this year. Nobody's good. Like, if I just know it's not going to be us.
It's just a really tough game. Really, really tough game. And it really makes you lose confidence in this team. And it really just validates all of our criticisms from the offseason. I mean, Error Code says it right here. If we were going to go running back in the first round, why didn't we get Jonathan Taylor over CEH? No idea.
Or J.K. Dobbins or DeAndre Swift or, somebody who's good.
I'm kind of done talking about this game. Are you?
I fucking hate everything.
Those of you still in the chat, get your last second questions in. Get your last second questions in. Get your last second comments in, and I'll go ahead and address them and go over them. If you're still watching, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You can also leave a super chat if you're feeling generous. It really sucks. It really sucks when I have to watch Mizzou and the Chiefs lose in the same weekend. It just makes my week so bad.
I hate this fucking team.
Juan Thornhill's biggest role is holding kickoffs for Butker.
That's depressing. Special teamer Juan Thornhill.
Top 100 pick. Colin Saunders, top 100 pick. McCole Hardman, top 100 pick. Breland Speaks, top 100 pick. Derek Nottie, top 100 pick. Derek Nottie's fine. Every team has a Derek Nottie. You guys talk him up like he's the gem of the 2018 class, which he is, but not for good reason. I mean,
The Raiders have 5 points.
Yeah, they got a safety thanks to Casey Hayward. Someone I would have liked to see us sign, but
Yeah, Casey Hayward's
guess not.
good.
Well, I guess I am
Eric
ready
T,
to
you got
wrap
the
it
right
up.
idea, bud.
Breland Speaks over Fred Warner and Jesse Bates. That's the
No,
kind
the
of
one
roster
before-
building that I'm
No,
talking about.
The one before that.
I can't show that on the screen
Why?
because I don't want to
He's
get demonetized. That's all I got, guys. I'm just gonna end it. I know we'll take some time to cool off. We'll come back. We'll talk more this week. I know some people in the comments who watch this after the fact are gonna be like, "You guys are being so negative." Look, we have right to be negative. Look at the way this team is playing. They're way too good. They're way too talented. At least I hope, to be playing this poorly. You just can't play like crap anymore for 3 quarters and expect to win. And that's what happened today. So that's all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and kckingdom.com. Peace.